Okay. I finally went to locals and took something different to play other than Tenpai. Uh, and I'm actually kind of surprised by how well it went. I played Mimighoul. It's the new TCG exclusive archetype that came out in Infinite Forbidden, and I have been a fan of most TCG exclusive archetypes. The one that got me into the game was Plunder Patrol, and then Beach Trooper. I think that was it. And then now Mimighoul. And flip-based decks have been known to be very, very bad. Um, but this one is a bit different because it's a flip deck that works a bit differently. Um, but I ended up going 3-0 at my locals today, which I'm super happy about. The first round was a bye because we had a odd odd number of players, um, and then round two was against Whitewood Centurion, and I believe that was a 2-0. And then last round was against Hero, which I think was also a 2-0. And then it was really weird because we ended up with two undefeateds, and because there was a certain amount of players or not enough players, um, the matchmaking thing that Konami uses, they don't allow two players to play the same people uh, again. So there wasn't enough people for like I don't know four rounds or there there were just two undefeated people at the end. But I'm gonna stop rambling and get into the deck profile. Um, so for the main deck Mimighoul monsters, I played 3 dragon. He is your search for a Mimighoul spell or trap card on special or normal or special, and then when he's flipped face up, he destroys all face up non Mimighoul monsters, and then the control is given to the opponent. And he has the effect where if he's in the hand, he can special summon himself to the opponent's field in face down defense position. Um, and all the level 1 Mimighoul monsters share that same effect. So he's your spell trap card search and basically like a Raigeki when it's flipped face up. Archfiend is a on normal or special summon. It will target a set card. Oh, you can change one face down monster on the field to face up attack or defense position. Uh, that doesn't even target, which is kind of interesting. I didn't realize that. Um, but yeah, if he's summoned, he flips a face down, face up. And then if it's flip summoned, the controller of Archfiend uh, discards a card, the opponent draws one, and then control is changed. So it, you summon it to your opponent's field face down, you get flipped face up, and then it gets put back to your field. So yeah, these are the three ofs. These are kind of the ones you want to see. Um, I played 2 Mimighoul Master. Um, if you control another Mimighoul monster besides itself, he can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. If he's normal or special summoned, you can search for a Mimighoul monster, and then during the opponent's main phase, he can flip a face down, face up, which is really good to help trigger your Mimighoul effects. And then for the last main deck Mimighoul monster, I played a Cerberus because you kind of need the extra name. Um, Cerberus is pretty much kind of the worst one out of the current 3 different names for level 1s we have. Um, if it's flipped face up, the controller banishes the top 3 cards from their deck, and then they have to special summon one of their banished monsters to the opponent side of the field, and then control is swapped. And then while it's face up, your opponent can't target face up spells you control with card effects, which is really not the greatest, but he's just an extra name to use for like one of their spells. But yeah, there's really not much to say about the lineup. However, playing into a board and summoning a dragon to the opponent's field just to flip it face up in the same turn to just board wipe your opponent's monsters is kind of satisfying. My Centurion opponent had a Legatia, Auxilla, I think 2 sets, and then another monster. I forget which one it was, but I just did Master target their set dragon, flip it face up, and it just blew up their board and came back to me and was like it was kind of satisfying. Um, but yeah, I don't think I would really change the lineup for the Mimighoul stuff. We kind of have to wait until we see if they're gonna have like any support, um, and just see how good that support is. For the rest of the engine, I played 3 Mimighoul Dungeon. Basically, it's a floodgate and a searcher and a booster all in one card. So it says your Mimighoul monsters that weren't normal or special summoned this turn gains attack equal to their defense. So so if you normal summon one and then pass a turn, they gain their defense. Or if they're flipped face up and then they go back to your board, they also gain their defense. So Dragon becomes 2500 attack, Archfiend becomes 1900. I believe Cerberus becomes 2200, and then Master becomes 3k, which is pretty cool. And then it says players that control a face down monster cannot normal summon, and monsters that were special summoned this turn cannot declare an attack. So it's a floodgate, and it also says once per turn, basically, you can search for a Mimighoul monster from your deck or your graveyard and put it back in your hand. So that's really good for like recovering your Archfiends to basically start flipping monsters. And then I played 1 terraforming because that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 copies of the field spell technically. Yeah. And then I played 2 Mimighoul Maker. Ooh, sorry about the glitch. I feel like I say that every deck profile I make. Um, Mimighoul Maker is a really good card because what it says, it reveals 2 flip monsters, not just Mimighoul monsters. Reveal 2 flip monsters from your deck with different names. Your opponent randomly chooses one that goes face down to their field, and then you add the other one to your hand, and then you get to special summon a Mimighoul monster from your hand, which is it kind of just gets you so much. It's a really good card. And then in the graveyard, it has the effect where if your opponent special summons a monster, I don't know if it targets. Yeah, it targets a face down monster your opponent controls and flips it face up. I believe you get to choose, yeah, in attack or defense. So basically, if you uh, your opponent has a set monster and they just start special summoning. If it's a dragon, you can, if they special summon, you do maker effect, target the set dragon, flip it face up, and your opponent's monsters get destroyed and back to you. So it's a really good card. I don't think you need to play 3 of them. Um, is because if you activate one, you're kind of gaining a lot of advantage already. So I think it's pretty good at 2. What else? And then for the rest of the Mimighoul main deck, I played 3 Room. This is a really good card as well. These two are just kind of busted. What Room says, it will special summon a Mimighoul monster from your deck to your field or face down to your opponent's side of the field, and then you can Book of Moon something, flip it face down, and that kind of saved me from getting my stuff, my back row destroyed by the hero player because he had 2 fusions on the field, and then he went normal summon Stratos. Normal summon Stratos effect to pop cards up to the number of heroes you control. And he had 3, and I had 3 back row. I had like a Called By, a Room, and a There Can Be Only One. So I did like Chain Link 1, Room, Chain 2, There Can Be Only One. So he had to send 2, and then Room resolved, and I flipped. I summoned. I think I summoned Dragon to his field, and I flipped down his other fusion monster, and basically protected my entire back row, which was, I feel like that was a crazy play. So yeah, Room is really good. And then it also has an effect in the grave where you banish it, target uh, any number of Mimighoul cards you control, and just put them back in your hand. So it's really good because you can make Zeus, uh, activate the effect to board wipe, and then chain this to put all your Mimighoul cards back in your hand, so you really don't lose anything. So this is a really good card. Um, yeah, I think this is a good main deck lineup for Mimighoul. Um, and I will go into my non-engine. Or I say non-engine. I played a little Kashtira engine. 3 Unicorn, 1 Fenrir, and then 1 Kashtira Birth. Because this engine in Mimighoul is crazy because uh, these guys, they have the effect that if your opponent activates a monster effect, Unicorn lets you look in your opponent's extra deck and banish one of their extra deck monsters face down. And then Fenrir lets you target a face-up card your opponent controls and banish it face down. Um, if your opponent has a Mimighoul monster face down and you flip it face up, it's a mandatory activation, meaning they have to activate it to do the effect and then give control of it back to you. That is considered your opponent activating a monster effect. So if you flip face up an Archfiend on your opponent's field, you get to draw a card, your opponent discards a card, and then the Archfiend comes to your field. And then after that, you can activate these guys as effect because your opponent activates a monster effect. So this little engine is pretty crazy. I'm not really sure about the Fenrir in here, but I feel like it would be. I think it's fine. Just because it's such a good card. But I would rather open a unicorn rather than just a Kestir. I mean, you can do Fenrir to search for unicorn, but the only problem with that is that uh, you have to have no monsters in order to special summon these guys from the hand. So you have to kind of get really lucky and like open Fenrir and Birth, because Birth lets you normal summon a level 7 monster without tributing. So it's, uh, special Fenrir effect, add unicorn from deck to hand, activate Birth, normal summon unicorn, which is fine, but you would just rather open unicorn over Fenrir. But yeah, this engine, it felt really good to play. Um, for non-engine, your opponent is activating your Mimighoul monster's effect, so you play 3 talents to just gain advantage off of it. If you Archfiend, you can have your opponent discard a card, and then they activated a monster effect, so you can activate talents to look at their hand and then remove a monster or a card from it, uh, which is really good. For the last of like non-engine, I played 1 Ghost Trick Shot. because I do play obviously a Ghost Trick engine in my extra deck. Um, so Shot is basically a monster reborn for a Ghost Trick monster. Uh, yeah. Um, I was just making sure I wasn't cheating because it says special summon a Ghost Trick from your hand to grave. Then you can change one face down Ghost Trick monster you control to face up. So I was just making sure that I wasn't um not activating a mandatory effect. So just making sure. But yeah, it's a monster reborn for a Ghost Trick monster, which lets you play the F-Zero package, Utopic Draco Future, for an extra negate. And then I play one Tikaboo because we the Mimighoul monsters are all different types. And Tikaboo says we can only control one of each type, which really came in clutch against the hero player and kind of the Centurion. They can play through Tikaboo, but kind of not really. It's weird. Um, but yeah, that's the kind of not hand trap cards for the hand traps. It's just a simple lineup. I played 3 Ash Blossom and 3 Veiler and 3 Infinite Impermanence. And then uh, a Magnemite, because Magnemite can search Dragon or Druis Worm, and then Druis Worm and just a Called by the Grave. So the main deck is 40 cards. Um, I will get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I played a Ghost Trick package, 2 Angel of Mischief, and 1 Dullahan. Um, your you put 2 level 1s on the field so you can overlay for Dullahan, and then you can just use Dullahan and overlay for Angel of Mischief. And then Mischief allows you to add the Ghost Trick spell card from your deck to your hand by detaching material. So you detach Dullahan, search for the Monster Reborn, bring Dullahan back, and then you can overlay for the second one, or the second Angel of Mischief. And then for the rest of the Ghost Trick package, I played 1 Utopic Draco Future, which is a monster negate, and you get to steal it. Um, and then 1 F-Zero Utopic Future to make the guy. 1 Zeus, because it's really easy to make Zeus in this deck. 1 Typhon, because you're not really a huge combo deck. You're kind of just like a kind of a grindy deck that, I don't know. It's more of a control deck. You kind of stop your opponent from doing what they want to do, and just getting rid of all their material while you gain material yourself. So playing a Typhon isn't too detrimental, which is good. Um, 1 Downerd to overlay Zeus on top of 1 Ensemble Robin, because with an end board, if you have like dungeon and room, you do room effect, summon to the opponent's field on their turn. And then if they just start special summoning, you can use Robin to bounce back those special summon monsters. So they basically kind of just do nothing. I played a Assemble Nightingale because she can attack directly, and then that'll just let you make Downer Magician and then overlay into Zoo. Um, that I think that makes it so if you overlay 2 for assembled, 3, 4 material Zeus, which is really good. I played a Recital Starling, just to kind of try it. It didn't really come up, but it could be. I'm not sure if it would be a time card because Nightingale can attack directly, but I don't know. It just seemed kind of interesting just to like try it out. Yeah, these monsters, and then for a link package, the link package was a little weird because this is my first time actually playing with the deck. Played a SP Little Knight, a IP Masquerena to make SP on the opponent's turn, 1 Striker Dragon, and 1 Anima because they're all level 1s basically, so you could steal an opponent's monster if they misplay, or just summon into the anima zones. Um, I think Striker is pretty good because if you have Dragon and like another one of your Mimighoul monsters, you can make Striker Dragon with the Mimighoul Dragon and then link into SP Knight, and that lets you get a banish. Um, I think the problem is that I made Little Knight as an end board piece rather than SP, just for like I don't know removal or something. Um, but I think I really like the extra deck for this. My only concern is like assembled Nightingale. I think if I were to replace it with something, it would be like the rank 1 bird that says it's unaffected by everything, and then you detach 2 to make it not be able to destroy by battle or something. I think I would play that over the Recital Starling unless somebody builds like Lyrilusk Mimikul, which sounds really weird. But yeah, that's the extra deck. I'm super happy with how it was. And then the extra deck is basically just something I threw together like last minute. I played 3 Ghost Ogre, 3 Gamma Seal, just to out like problem cards, and then a very generic. It's just an entire generic extra or side deck. Uh, 3 Dark Ruler so I can play into boards. 3 Cosmic Cyclone to help out. I don't know something, and then 3 evenly matched just in case like I need to if I'm playing against something like Sky and I need to get rid of the entire board. Um, there were no Snake Eye players today. It was basically kind of just a chill thing, which is basically why I played Mimighoul. Um, it was just more not eventful, so I kind of didn't want to just be that guy playing meta in a room full of people who aren't playing meta. So I decided to switch it up, and I'm really happy that I did because I've been wanting to play Mimighoul for a little bit. The deck is really cool, and I'm pretty happy with how it kind of worked. Um, yeah, that's kind of all I really wanted to say. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think of Mimighoul, and I will see you guys later.